But anyway, do you want to give your number 10 first, or you do want me to start it off?
I don't really have a preference. I will start off by saying like how we talked about in DMs. I originally thought about instead of doing a top 10 list, I considered doing a two top fives list. One from like the OG 2009 to 2011 generation, and another list for after that 2012 to I guess 2019. I ended up not doing that. I didn't want to be that guy to make to do my own thing, but I did end up doing kind of hybrid of that to where I
Sure.
did a top 10 list, but I selected 5 people that played in each generation. I just feel like it's pretty hard to to compare and contrast the two generations because a lot of them never played against each other, and that in the game was it felt entirely different at that point to
Yeah.
to recent. So yeah, so my list is 5 players from 2009 to 2011, and then 5 players from 2012 to 2019.
Yeah.
So
And
if you're wondering why X player from 2011 isn't on this list, it's probably because they would have been number 6 had I had just done a full list. But yeah,
yeah.
so
So, I mean, two things. It's a valid distinction, and the players, it would be very different. And I always think about this. There's this term which people need to use more in this context and in the context of sports, because I also follow that shit a lot. And you have to compare Babe Ruth to Shohei Ohtani. You have to compare
yeah,
Wilt Chamberlain to LeBron James, and there's
right,
this concept called chronocentrism.
interesting. I've never heard of that. I'm
Yeah.
listening.
So it's basically the impression that things like fundamentally just get better. Like this applies in so many different areas. You don't really appreciate how much of what you achieve or accomplish or what benefits you reap just by virtue of gaining them kind of by osmosis. To apply that to Uncharted 2, in 2008, 2009, no one knew what the fuck to do for map control.
Yeah,
No one knew that bunny hopping would be viable in some circumstances. No one knew
right.
which, no one knew the nade spots. No one knew, oh my god, what else? All the like cheeky like spots to climb up. Like
So
you step
yeah,
on
to
one
look
thing, then
through. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So the
Yep, yep.
ability to maneuver through the map where anyone who started in 2012, 13, everyone knows the map control spots pretty much. Everyone knows, like, once you get to level like 30, 40, you know everything that it took 70 levels to figure out in
Yeah,
2009.
that's very true. It's very true.
So you just get to work on your aim and on the communication, the teamwork stuff. You get to
Yeah, because the blueprint's already there. Yep.
yeah, you get to think of variations and how to subvert the expectations that were built by the habits that. So yeah, I kind of think about it as that. I think of early stage. It's how innovative were these people, and how quickly and how exceptionally did they integrate the the new-ish ideas, and then for the newer generations, it's just how well did they perfect it? How close did they get to as good as an Uncharted player can be with it?
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah, chronocentrism. But
Power creep in video game terms.
yeah, sorry, I'm coughing a lot. My throat is
Yeah, you're
dry.
good, man. And also, like, a reason why I wanted to do like 5 players from old gen, 5 players from new gen, is because like I was thinking about it, like if if a player that started in 2015 is watching this video, and like eight of my players are all from like 2011, he's not gonna like, a guy like that isn't gonna know, likely isn't gonna know who a lot of these people are. So for the sake of enjoyment, I wanted to also add some really notable players from the second gen as well. So
Hell yeah. So, I guess just real quick, do you want to do any honorable mentions, or do you want to do like 10 through 2, then honorable mentions, then 1?
I think that sounds good. Yeah,
The second one?
the second one. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and start it off with my number 10. someone
Sure.
I don't think is going to be, well, he's definitely not on your list if you're restricting it to like 5 OGs.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
really great player, played extremely well in tournaments, and I found out about him through Big Truku's first tournament.
Okay.
It is Abadesi.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Abadesi. Abadesi was a beast. Very, very underrated player in Uncharted 2. Played for SOG Plus, Slaves of God, if I remember correctly. He was definitely their MVP. Like, he was always carrying the match.
Took
Um,
them to the finals.
yeah, yeah, it took them to the finals for sure. I believe in Uncharted 3, I'm pretty sure he won the free-for-all tournament that Big Two Crew had at the same time of their first TDM tournament. I'm pretty sure he beat out Tice Mac, and you know anybody that beats Tice Mac is pretty damn good. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
Abadesi is a very good pick. Abadesi is a very good pick.
So just real quick, so I'm correct that he's not on your list though. He didn't make the cut.
Correct. He's not on my list.
Okay, so just
I actually played against him. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I actually played against him in Uncharted 2 in a 2 versus 2 tournament. I think we played in like the semifinals. It was me and Wheezy versus him and Durham.
ooh,
um,
uh,
and they unfortunately beat us. Abadesi carried pretty hard.
yeah, Durham's all right. He's like I'm not gonna talk shit, but he's
Yeah.
not. That is not
Yeah,
an
he
equal
did fine.
for Abadesi. So just a real quick, we'll move to your number 10. But Abadesi, he only played in the two Big True Crew tournaments.
Right.
He, in the first one, averaged 12.6 kills per game at a
Wow.
155 KD.
Damn.
And then second tournament, I believe he ran into was IFU up or yeah, I think it was IFU up who was a good team. Ice Cold Boxing, I believe, was on that team.
Okay.
So SOG, I believe they lost 1-2, but Abadesi 12.83 kills per game, 131 KD, so he did not have any problem
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
series.
For real.
I have never in my life had a 1.3 KD tournament, so
Yeah,
even,
I mean, like 1.5 is kind of crazy if we're talking about tournaments. You know, like if you're looking at a leaderboard and you see 1.5, like oh, this player's kind of mid. You know, you want a 2KD or better in like public matches, but
oh yeah,
1.5 in a tournament is pretty wild, man. Like I was looking
any
at your list of like history, and 1.5 I'm pretty sure would be fourth all time.
um,
So
I could
I
actually.
think Wheezy's third at like 1.56. So 1.55 I think would be fourth.
So
But you probably
yeah,
have it up in front of you. I definitely don't.
so he didn't play enough to count for the. Actually, let me just double check this. No, that's not true. What is his
Well, it would
Abadesi?
probably be
He's
lower than 1.55 because
yeah,
he
he
had the second
is
tournament. That's lower.
tied. He is tied for 12th at 1.34, but 11 is 1.35, 10 is 1.35, 9 is 1.36, 8th
Yeah.
is 1.37, 7th is 1.39, and then you get a little bit of a jump to 1.45 for
Yeah.
6th. So he's very close to just being
It's
7th.
still, I mean, top 12 in the hundreds of people that have participated is pretty damn good.
Yeah, over 500 people have played in tournaments.
Yeah.
He's tied for 12 and a few points away from being 7th. And he had
Damn.
that's including a series against OMG in the finals.
OMG. And they
And
got cooked.
yep, and a series against IFU up, which was a good team, and put up a fight against UB in the second Big Two Crew tournament.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marchino 9009 was also on that team with
Okay.
Ice.
I remember that guy.
So yeah,
He was on the God's breath for a time.
it was a good team. But
Yeah.
yeah, who is your number 10?
My number 10, taking the first spot from the new gen list, is Wesker 5.
Oh my God. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
let me see. I don't know. Wesker is not on my list. Yeah, not on my list.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Wesker is definitely the star player MVP of 1337. 1337 is definitely one of, I think, probably maybe definitely top 15, if not top 10, best Uncharted 2 teams of all time, and he's definitely um, the goat of that squad. He's always rushing. He's always fucking putting the team on his back and dropping 15 plus kills damn near every single game. Like you have to shut down Wesker if you want to beat 1337 for sure.
Hell yeah. So he is eighth in kills per game in tournament history. He is 11th in assists per game in tournament history, and he is on the top 50 leaderboards for KD at 46 with a 1.11. But again,
Okay.
pair that with 8th in kills per game and 11th in assists per game. So he's
Yeah, that's pretty
very,
good.
very active.
Yeah,
And
I think
yeah.
I don't know if you have like a specific category for this, but I think I looked up like most kills in a single tournament, and I'm pretty sure he was top like 7 or something in that most kills in a single tournament. But great player.
Yeah, I'm sure he's. No, I don't think I have a stat for individual tournament totals. I have like career totals.
Yeah, I think I just went through literally everybody and I just counted like
Damn.
I was looking how many people were higher than me. Yeah.
All right, I got you. Yeah, so yeah, he's if you're making if you make any distinction between like people who are rushers and campers, as far as rushers go, he is one of the best. Like obviously, uh, I can't. I don't even know how many people are going to be. Yeah, top 50 in all three leaderboards: kills per game, assists per game, and KD. And yeah, and a lot of 19 games, so a pretty good sample size for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Abadisi was 14 games,
Okay.
so done it over a few tournaments. How many actually did he? Wesker, he played. Okay, he only has 2 tournaments on here, but the majority of it was a nostalgia tournament. He had 15 games
Right.
there. Yeah, unless he has an alt that he played on, but
Well, that's
still.
my knowledge. As far as I know, I think he's always been on that account.
All right. But yeah, and actually, in his first tournament, I forget what year it was, but Monsters closing tournament, he
Okay.
played 4 games and had a 2.05 KD.
Oh my god, 2.05 and they lost? It's crazy.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
that's
All right.
wild. So yeah, he had a pretty good series, and then yeah, the 15 game sample size in the nostalgia tournament, which is weighed down by the finals, of course, as anyone who reaches the finals is. It's going to be the KD's not going to look as impressive as it actually
Yeah.
is, but yeah, he had 182 kills in the tournament, 12.13 per game, 3.13 assists per game, which is super high, and he had a 1.01 KD. But again, he was the battering ram. He was the first in any attack
Sure.
for 1337. So.
Sure.
So I'll go to my number 9, who
Okay.
I maintain is one of the most underrated players of all time. I underrated him a lot, and I think he was also really good in Uncharted 3. Um, and yeah, this player, I always thought they were really good, but I didn't think they were like anywhere close to top 10 until I actually looked at the stats and played
Hmm.
with them, and then I was like, wait a minute, I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad game. And that's Blinky 0120.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's not like
Gotcha.
the first name you think of, but he is
Right. For sure.
way up there in KD kills per
Yeah.
game.
I always thought he was a good player for sure. I just feel like I've hardly ever seen him play competitive. Like I know you're gonna say the stats, but what team did he play for? I know he played for G4S. I know he played for G4S at one time,
He played
but
for
beyond that,
he played for Pure and UB. So he was a
really,
yeah, he
okay,
was a second
okay,
team kind of alternate for Pure, and then he played for UB, and in Big Two Crew's second tournament he played for UBB, which was their second team.
second team. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
he has the fifth highest KD in tournament history,
Damn.
and
That's
he's
pretty crazy.
and 15th in kills per game. And yeah,
Okay.
12 game sample size. I think 3 tournaments, but I could double check on that. 4 tournaments. So yeah. Um,
Wow. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I always thought he was a solid player, but yeah, you're right. Very underrated. Doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
yeah, he always in my head he's like A tier. Like the he's not the first name that comes to mind when you think top 10 all time. He's probably like
Yeah.
20, 30 something,
Yeah.
right? Like a really good player who would be
Definitely would
like,
have been in my top 50 if I had to make one.
yeah. Um, but no, his stats are insane, and so I got him for one of my tournaments, and super close game that we had for NE, which is a really good team. I forget who exactly was on it. But yeah, we went to. I think we won that series 2-1 with one draw as well. So it was a super close game, and he
Right.
absolutely fucking destroyed them in the game 4 and carried us to a win. I think it was on Plaza, but yeah,
Nice.
he absolutely curb stomped after us
Yeah.
like tug of war for 3 games. Um, but yeah, and then he couldn't make it for round 2, and TDT obliterated us. So
Damn.
I was like, hey, if I had Blinky, I would have been
Yeah.
I would have eliminated TDT.
Yes.
That was my
That's so
chance.
funny.
But yeah, so Blinky not on your list.
No, he's not. He's not.
All right, all right. Who's your number 9 then?
My number 9, I have Slick Kid Murda.
Okay, Slick Kid Murda is my first honorable mention.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
So yeah, he is. If I had to, I would have no problem really flip flopping him and Abadizi. I just if I saw Slick with like a decent team carry them to a finals, that would be like, okay, he's the
Yeah,
real
that would
shit.
be the deciding factor.
And I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'm not sure if Slick is hurt or helped by being a part of TDT
Right,
because
right. Because if he was on his own team, like I feel like he would get a lot more credit and recognition. But the fact that
yeah.
he had 4 other, like crazy motherfuckers around him, he probably doesn't get all the recognition that he would get if he was like the Abadizi on his own team.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So it like helps him in the sense that he's like multiple time tournament champ, and there's like
Yeah,
nothing bad to say. Like no bad games, no like.
yeah. Super good with the pistol, super good with the foul. His AK was no slouch either, and above all, he was such a cool dude, man. Like that gives you an extra point or two in my book. Like, he's so friendly, so nice. I don't think he had beef with anybody.
Oh
He's
yeah.
always laughing and having a good time. Like a1 human being.
Yeah. If we're doing favorite players list, he would probably be number 2 for me.
Okay, gotcha.
He's a real one.
I mean, he would obviously be number 2 because I'm number 1, so it's fine. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean you'd be an honorable mention, but nah. My gosh, what else? Yeah, Slick.
Funny enough, I just got a phone call while while you were saying that. So if you were talking shit,
Oh yeah, I said you'd be on my honorable mentions for sure.
fuck off.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Slick again, this is a thing. He's not in the top 50 all time for kills per game. How do you do that on you there's only 50 kills to get
Yeah, to be had.
and you're
Sure,
having to
sure.
divide that up between the best team of all time, probably?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's
Um,
definitely a case made for that.
but he has in a sample size of 46 games,
Damn.
46 tournament games, a 125 KD. That's insane to sustain that
Yeah.
for
Yeah, for
years.
sure.
He is 4th in total assists in tournament history and 6th in kills in tournament history.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely out there. Very underappreciated, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So yeah, I would have no problem. Honestly, I could see him as high as I could put him as high as 8. I think.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think my top 7 are very very solid.
Gotcha.
It's all right. That was your number 9, so we're going to number 8 now.
Yes.
All right, my number 8. I'm very interested if he is on your list. I feel like I have to. The stats are too much. The only reason he isn't higher is connection issues. Well, so number 8 is Balloon.
Not on my list.
No. Okay, let me educate you here. All right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Balloon is in the top 6 in tournament history in kills per game and assists per game and KD.
Okay.
30,
I'm not surprised with that at all.
34 games, huge sample size. He is 6th in KD, 5th in assists, and 4th in kills per game.
And number one
He-
in lag per game. What? Nah, I'm just being
Just
a hater.
to be clear, on kills per game, assists per game, and KD, everyone above him has fewer games played, except for his
That's fair.
teammate Glaucoma.
Oh,
50
interesting.
games
Okay.
for KD. Every other
Okay.
person above him has fewer games played. So
Makes sense.
no one can match the stats and sample
Yeah.
size. He
Yeah.
he would probably be 1 or 2 on stats alone.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he's a super skilled player. Like I was being a, I
Does
was
he
being a hater for sure.
does he
I was
make
being
your
a hater for
honorable
sure.
mentions?
No.
Oh my god.
I mean, should he? Should he? Yes, but like that's the thing. Like Simply Legend. He was known on Uncharted 4, and a lot of people know him as Simply Legend just in general. He gets plenty of recognition as is. Like I don't feel like I need to put him on any list or introduce him whatsoever. But like I was definitely being a hater. Overall, you said you wanted hot takes on this, so I'm gonna drop the hottest fucking take right now. Very overrated player. Very
Wow.
overrated. Do I think he was really good? Yes. Like just because I say somebody's overrated doesn't mean I think that they were bad. I think that his connection helped him out way fucking more than people realized. Way more than people realized.
Wow.
Like if he lived in America, I don't think he would have those as high stats. Do I think he would be top 10? Probably. Top 15? Definitely. But I don't think he would be top 6 or whatever if he lived in somewhere other than Saudi Arabia or Brazil or some other place like that.
Yeah.
Really good player, awesome player. Has a very great pedigree, and I respect that. But I don't think he's number 1, and he doesn't need me to give him any clout on my list because he already has it from other people. So
Damn. Okay, so for me, lag is like a tiebreaker situation where if it isn't clear who performed better, then I'm gonna be like, okay, well this person, I know it's legit. I don't have to do any guesswork as to how much they're being helped with that. But sure, he's probably closer to Blinky or Wesker stats with his connection down.
yeah,
Because
like
yeah, I mean
connection
he's
is such an advantage in Uncharted 2. Like in other games, it hinders you, but in Uncharted, it really freaking helps you. And like
for
man,
sure.
like again, and everything I just said, I'm only speaking about Uncharted 2. Like he
Yeah.
accomplished a lot in Uncharted 4 as well, but I was not there for that, so I'm not speaking on Uncharted 4. I'm
Yeah.
only speaking on Uncharted 2. And like if you played against him consistently, like I did, you would know that his lag was kind of crazy, man. Like
Oh yeah.
it turned him from a great player into kind of like a godly player, to where it was so hard to stop him because like 3 bullets would come at you at a single time, or he would just eat bullets and then die like 5 seconds later. Like it was definitely an advantage for sure.
Sure. Yeah. So, last thing on Bloom, I pretty much felt the way that you feel about him until I forget. I think we played TDT twice. In the tournament that I was talking about, where Blinky betrayed me and threw
Yeah.
me to TDT,
Uh-huh.
and then just in a clan battle that we organized with them, um, I think around the same time, maybe a year on either side of that tournament. But in typical fashion, a lot of shotgun AK. But
Yeah.
when I if I just go off of and when I like being serious and watching those cinemas and and yeah, just like being real with myself, when he wasn't shotgun AKing, when it when he was having a better connection map, it felt mostly the same to me. Like he was unstoppable with lag. Without it, he's like he blends in with every other like great player. He's
TDT
just
member. Yeah.
yeah, he just doesn't have this like force field around him
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
like I
Exactly.
can I can shoot and kill him, but his shot is just
And
as
I
well.
feel like the force field was there more often than it wasn't. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So number 8 with an asterisk, but credit where credit's due. The stats are
Yes. Yes.
unbelievable.
I respect the pedigree. I respect the stats. I don't think he's the goat like people claim him to be, and he doesn't need any more recognition than he already has. So it would be a waste of a slot for me to put him
Sure,
in my opinion.
it's your list. You're allowed to.
Yes, it's my list. I make the rules.
All right, who's your number
So
8?
my number 8, I have Wheezy F Baby,
Oh,
aka T-Sup from the last Uncharted 2 nostalgia tournaments.
okay. So I'm gonna disclaimer. I made a top 100 list
Oh,
because
savage. Okay.
I just kept going. I was just like I filled up like top 20 because I wanted honorable mentions, and then I like got to like through all the OMG players, and I'm like, where would all like the pro players rank? Where would all the get positive people? So I made this whole
Yeah.
list, and then I stopped at 100. I was like, this is too much. Wheezy is my number 17. So he's not,
17.
yeah,
Wow.
he's not on my
Okay. Damn.
official honorable mentions, but he's like very close.
Right.
I have like 5.
17 is still really high, bro. Like if you said
Oh
I
yeah,
was 17th best player in Uncharted, I'd be like, damn, bro, thank you.
yeah. I mean,
So
they're
that's still awesome.
probably at least probably a million players. I think the most like active players there was like close to 100,000.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, probably. I mean, most of them are like level 10s, but still, hundreds of thousands at least, maybe millions of people. You're number 17, and on one person's list.
Yeah, that is no small feat for sure.
And you're number 8. Yeah, Wheezy is number 3 in KD all time, 29 games. He's
Yeah.
also 15th in assists per game all time. The only thing, the only real thing you could knock him for is the kills per game.
Yeah,
So he doesn't have the responsibility, the burden all the time of being that first person through the wall.
for sure, for sure. In
But
his defense, in 15 of those 29 games, he was holding down the base every game. He was our base guy. So it's kind of hard to be top of the leaderboards when you're holding down the spawn.
yeah,
But yeah,
so but that it works. Um, like both sides of the coin, though, it helps the KD, but it
for
seriously
sure,
hurts the
for
kills per
sure,
game. So he's probably
definitely.
1.58 is probably going to be more like 1.4, and
Right.
kills per game is probably going to be 1 or 2 higher per game
Yeah.
if you put him in a different role. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
a 15th in assists per game is insane from a spawn anchor.
Yeah, for sure.
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah. Wheezy, Wheezy got my respect very early when I joined Epic in 2015, 2014. And I always thought he was very underrated and one of the best players in the game at the time, even back then. He like and back then he was not a spawn anchor. He was in the action. He was one of the frontline guys. Like he played shotgun and plaza. Probably the best player to play shotgun and plaza that I've ever seen. You know, it was super hard to get him out of there, and he was so efficient at doing it.
Ooh.
We were playing one custom against some clan. They were kind of bad, but he almost got a rampant. He was like 18-0, and then I think the match ended. I'm like, bro, like
Yeah.
I know this team was nothing crazy, but still, you know, this isn't a public game, you know, like. I mean, this man
Yeah.
almost casually dropped a rampant on Plaza.
Yeah, there are
So, go ahead.
there are some scoreboards that only he and Glaucoma are putting up. Like there's going to be like 15-0, 15-1, you know.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
like so once upon a time he was on the front lines, and he was really good at it back then. It wasn't until we joined Odyssey for the Nostalgia Tournament that he, for the first time ever, started to be a spawn anchor, and he started to, you know, just hold down the base and, you know, just sit in the back with a foul and cover everybody and be the anchor. And goddamn, if he wasn't the best fucking anchor I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, this man held shit down. Like, he was, you know, probably the best foul player I've ever seen in general.
Wow.
But like the spawns, I don't think flipped on us an entire time, like the entire tournament. I don't think they flipped on us once, except for maybe like the one map that we lost, and that wasn't even his fault. I think he like died like twice or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the spawns literally never flipped on us, and it never, like, because normally like the person like all the way in the back holding the spawns is like the worst player on the team, but it couldn't be any further from the truth with Wheezy, because I never like realized how important having a really good spawn anchor is until we had Wheezy, because like I said, it's just crazy when you know for a fact that they're never going to spawn behind you because this man's going to hold shit down.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, 8 Wheezy F baby,
Yeah.
aka T-Sub.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you when you said like the best anchor. There's because I play a lot of anchor, so I think about it. Is it? It's not so much early on. It was about knowing where to anchor and knowing which spots could allow someone to spawn like where. But again, that's a chronocentrism power creep thing, where everyone at this point should know how your anchoring is affecting spawns. But yeah, I think of it as there are some people who anchor but don't check the spawns around them to make sure. Like they'll just be in the area and not check. Where it's very important, especially on a map like Fort, where they can spawn 15 feet to your right.
Really, bro.
It's a game of you have to be paying constant attention to the kill feed and timing it, so as soon as the names disappear off the kill feed, you have to switch from your foul that you're using to pick people off to an AK, check your side to make sure they aren't spawning there, timing it so you know, okay, they're not there, switch back to foul and go back to picking people off across map. And then yeah, just the skill of the being able to pick people off with the foul and time their movement, especially I'm thinking in Fort or Plaza, where like if they pop up, I have to hit every shot and to pick them off, and everyone on their team knows where I am. I'm sitting here. They're going to be chucking nades across map. They're going to try and pick me off with the foul too. So you have to be a little bit shifty, changing your angles, changing your corner, keeping an eye on spawn, and yeah, just being able to hit the most ungodly cross-map shots.
Agreed.
So yeah, Wheezy, possibly the best at that. And number 7, you said that Wheezy was possibly the best SAS shotgun player, or at least for holding that area down.
That I've seen. That I've played with, yeah.
Okay. So, if you had played with him or against him more, because I'm assuming you have at some point, you would know that the real best SAS shotgun user is Sergio Pro 13.
Oh boy. Okay.
Number
7. 7.
Yep.
Wow. That's low. I'm shocked. Okay.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Is he okay? So where do you have him?
Sergio is my 4.
Number 4? Okay.
Which I debated on 5. I inevitably went with 4 just because of the tournament wins.
Hell yeah.
But and the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He has one, right? Yeah.
2.
So
Or
2.
3, actually.
3. Okay.
Yeah, because he won both of the big 2 crews, and I was trying to remember
Yeah.
if I gave him MVP for my 2011 Resurrect, the December one.
Okay. I don't know why I thought Kiri won.
He
But,
was
yeah.
very close in the first big 2 crew tournament. I think they shouted him out because he got a Fury in the grand finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kerry Hiker was insane in that first tournament. He had like 5, not 5. I think he had like 3 more kills per game than Sergio. Like Kerry Hiker was the rusher, the frontline guy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
With Sergio. So yeah, he had an insane first tournament, but they ended up giving it to Sergio.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like no hate. I respect your list. It's just everybody and their mother says that he's at least top 3. So
Really?
Again, respect it, but surprise. That's all.
Okay. So there's a couple things that I factor in for the reason that Sergio Bro isn't higher, because we're going to talk about how insanely good he is. But just to preface, the reason he's not going to be in my top 6 is, one, a little bit of still the balloon factor, where he definitely benefited the most from connection of OMG. I think infamously Alex DGK probably wouldn't have him in top 20 players. He thought Sergio Pro was dog shit. And that he was
hot take.
Yeah, he's thought that they were like he thought he was the most he was Sergio Pro was Alex's Balloon, where he had force field around him, where he was like, this is the laggiest fucking player, like how was he allowed in the tournament? And they got into like a huge fight with Big True Crew about it, like how the fuck are these people allowed in the tournament, or specifically Sergio.
I never heard that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Okay,
there was huge beef, which is why the Pier and OMG played that no power weapon match, which. And that's another.
They got stomped.
Yeah, that's another factor there, where Sergio Pro plays really well around power weapons, and that's not like a slight. Like that's its own skill, getting to the power weapons, like timing it.
For sure.
Again, he's really good with the sniper, good with the deagle, good with the shotguns. Like he knows how to use them to their fullest like potential. But yeah, you go to no power weapons, he's still a at least top 15 for me, probably still top 10 for me in no power weapons.
Yeah.
But you see him play versus Pure, and they get fucking stomped. 3-0 sweep.
I think only one of those matches was even somewhat close, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think just Village. Because Temple was like 35-20 or something.
Yeah,
and then Plaza. Yeah, Plaza was again another like 15-20 kill gap, and then Village was I think like 5 to 10 kills or something. And yeah, that's the other thing. Like there's too many. Like I have a list of things where Sergio Pro goes down a notch, where a little bit of like the mythicality of him as a player is a little bit like, oh, he's just like a normal, really good player. That's
honestly a very good point.
And that's like no power weapon situations, in campy situations in general where the game really slows down. He's still, again, top 10 probably.
Right.
And because you see it in that no power weapon series versus Pier, where Village, he has his best game, of course, and you see it in the finals versus TDT, where he was insane on, I think, Village and Plaza, when things were moving a little bit quicker, and then he really thrived when everything was in motion, and he just gets to maneuver around the map the way he does, and he gets to play with map control and get the power weapons, and he makes the most of it. Probably yeah, I would say he capitalizes on map control and the access to power weapons better than any player ever. Like he's
Okay.
number one for like holding map control. Sergio Pro 13. Like
Yeah.
if you have
Yeah.
to have that like first defense player who's like, yeah, yeah, that's
No, that's a very respectable take. I fully understand your reasoning, and I respect that. Okay. Yeah, he's my number four, like I said. It's like the tournament pedigree is speaks for itself. So there's
it's
really not much that needed to
insane.
be said, and you covered everything as is. So that's all I have to say. But
Yeah,
I respect that. I respect that take.
yeah, and I will add in just as a counter to my own point a little bit, although I still think it's valid. My Uncharted 2 Resurrection tournament in 2011 was oh, actually, sorry. Oh my God, I'm blanking on it. I think it was a no power weapon tournament, and OMG still won. Sergio Pro got MVP. So
Okay.
the
Yeah.
only asterisk to that would be that there was definitely less competition. If he faced a
Yeah.
UB, a peer, who knows?
Right.
So yeah, Sergio Pro's my number seven. Who do you have as seven?
My number seven, who I know is likely on your list, Alfred Freddy.
Ooh, Alpha.
First one from the OG list. First one from
Okay,
from an OG player.
super close. I have him number five.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, do you want to introduce Freddy? Oh, wait, sorry.
Super.
1 second, real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Real quick, since we did it with everyone else. Sergio Pro has the highest tournament KD
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
in history.
Of
One
all time. Of all time.
1.88. And he went to the finals in every tournament he played.
Yeah,
And
for
still
sure. For
maintained
sure.
1.88. He's
Which is crazy.
ridiculous against the best
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Absolute
That's
freak.
fucking wild.
Again, the only negative I have to say is that I don't think it's quite the same level in different map settings, different rules and all that stuff, and a little bit
Right.
of a bonus from his leg. But yeah, 1.88 you can't argue with that. He
No, you
has to
cannot.
be top 10. I'm not
For sure.
insane.
How many games is that? Is that
30.
30?
Yep.
30. Okay. Damn. That's
Yep.
wild.
Yeah, I think what 4 or 5 different tournaments. Let me
At
just
least
double
four,
check.
I think.
Okay, three with statistics recorded, but then he also played in the Resurrection tournament. So
Right. Gotcha.
yeah, um, so yeah, but yeah, just to get that out of the way for Sergio, the all-time greatest KD in tournament history. He's a freak.
For sure.
Yeah, but number seven, Freddie.
Yes, Alfred Freddy. Super underrated player, I think, in the history of Uncharted. I think like he's kind of like if you know you know type of thing. Like if you actively play with him a
Oh
lot,
yeah,
like he's a beast. Um,
I would
I think
say
he.
I would
Go ahead.
say not underrated, just kind of underappreciated, underrecognized. Because
Yeah,
everyone who
yeah,
knows he's
yeah,
him.
for sure. If you
He's
know, you
him.
know. Yeah, for sure. That's a very good way to put it. Underappreciated. Yeah. He was on UB for a time, wasn't he? Or no? Am I misremembering? I know he was in
Yeah,
Pure. He was in UB. Okay, yeah. I think he was definitely like top two star players in UB.
yeah. It was him and
And he
Dice for sure.
yeah, for sure. And on UB and on Pure, it was him and Naruto and Tice. But
Yeah, Pure was insane.
yeah, like yeah, that version of Pure was wild. But yeah, he was definitely always top two best players on his team, and he was on some incredibly good fucking teams. Um, and even now, like he's been playing in Reloaded,
Yeah.
and I don't see him playing that much, but every time I do play against him or with him, like he's still really fucking good. I'm like, bro, it's been how many fucking years? Like I barely see you on this game, and you're still just going ham. Like how do you
Yeah.
do this, man? Like I feel like I'm playing all the time, and I still feel like a noob right now. My skill ain't back, but it just clicks for him. He's just so good. But yeah, one of the top players on one of the two, probably top three best teams. He was on two of the top three best teams. I mean, I guess maybe top four. if you include OMG. Top four best teams of the OG Uncharted history. So that's nothing to scoff at all. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you're gonna hit us with the stats.
Yeah, so Freddie, 21st in KD, 20th in kills per game. Um, and let me just double check which tournaments we have for Freddie. I think it's just the first two. Yeah, just the first two. And weirdly, yeah, that's crazy. So the first tournament he played versus. Oh, sorry, he had three. He had three tournaments. Okay. But the Big Two Crew 2011, he ran into. They had like some easy-ish team round one, and he was fine. He had like a 130 KD or whatever, something. They
Yeah.
just weren't a great team. And then round two, they played versus OMG. So,
Yeah.
despite that, still positive 1.05 KD, just shy of 10 kills per game. Still really good. Second tournament where he plays versus, I think, I forget who their round one matchup was, but then round two they played against Pier. Or no, sorry, I am. No, he didn't play that series versus Pier. Anyway, two really good teams they played in rounds one and two, and then semifinals versus Pier. He sat out because he didn't want to play against his old teammates.
Oh,
Yeah, he
that's
just didn't
interesting.
want to be. He's like, because Pierre wanted him to play for them, but he ended up playing for UB. But he's like, I'm not gonna play against Pierre if it comes to that.
Right.
But yeah, he had a 1.78 KD, 12 kills per game in that tournament.
1.78. Wow.
Yeah.
That's high stuff. God damn.
So yeah, and then in 2019, the Nostalgia tournament, 8 years later, he comes in for two games, 1.13 KD. That was a team that I played for, and Freddie subbed in for me. He was not
Oh.
active on Uncharted 2 at the time. Jumped into
Yeah.
a tournament, 1.13.
Yeah. Who did he play? They had to have lost if he only played two games, but who did he play? Do you know?
Oh, shoot. I don't remember. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
we had some scrappy team. It was
I don't
just.
think it was us. So
Yeah, no. It was just a team that I put together for, like, it was kind of newish.
just for fun. Yeah.
Yeah, people who didn't
That's fair.
normally play in tournaments, and we like lost
Right.
game one, and it was like pretty much my fault. So I'm like, I'm gonna step out. So like, I invited Freddie. I was just like, hey, you want to play in this tournament? He's like, whatever. And then he won map two for them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then the last map, I think he did fine. I think he went even or something, and they lost. But it was whatever. Again,
Gotcha.
he was not.
Still, the fact that you can come back to the game, participate in a tournament, and still drop a 1-3, which is pretty high for a tournament. It's pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, but and none of this was like, well, the Big Two crew was, but Prime Freddy, we're talking 2010, 2011, and
Yeah,
it shows in that 1.78, 12 kills per
for
game.
sure.
I mean, so many freaking stories. First of all, the rematch between Pure and OMG, no power weapons. Holy Jesus, Freddy, I think went like double positive all three games.
Yeah, he popped off for sure.
Yeah, I think if we do the stats for those three games, Freddy was Pure's
Oh yeah,
MVP.
you should do that. Yeah, you should do that. I'm interested to see that.
Yeah, I could do that. But yeah, I think what did he do in Village? It was like eight. It was like six. He had like 16, 17, 18 kills, and single-digit deaths. I think it was something like 18 and 9 versus OMG.
Right.
Absolutely ridiculous, double positive. I mentioned in one of the discords that I was one of my early memories, and this was 2010. Him and CJ doing like just practice. Like it was me, Rocco, Favre, CJ, and Freddie. We were on 1v1s on Trainwreck for some reason.
What the fuck?
But yeah, we were going to like where the sniper is on like each side of that like middle section, and then just doing head up practice.
Okay.
And so me, Favre, Rocco, and CJ, we were doing like what do you call it? Like King of the Hill style. Like you beat the person in the head up,
Gotcha,
then you
gotcha.
stay there. So CJ beats me. Obviously, it's like 20-2 or something. Then Rocco and Favre are like 20-5, 20-5, and then Freddy goes up and 20-7 on CJ. It was
Damn,
so,
that's crazy.
I was just like, because CJ was one of those mythical beings. It's like he's not the best player, but he'll never miss. It's like
Yeah,
if he
for sure,
puts
for sure.
shots on you, if you're in his line of sight, like
Yeah.
good luck next life. Like you're done.
Yep. Yeah. I was telling somebody that like even back then, this is like 2010, 2011, like a lot of people thought that CJ used mouse and keyboard to
Mm-hmm.
play Uncharted 2 on PS3 because his aim was that good. And
Yeah.
I feel using mouse and keyboard is kind of like if you're playing PS5 nowadays and you tell somebody, "Oh yeah, I'm using mouse and keyboard," like they're going to be surprised by that. But like literally fucking 15 years ago in 2010, playing the PS3, like
Yeah.
using a mouse and keyboard, like your aim is fucking cracked if people think that about you.
Yeah, for sure.
Funny enough, CJ is one of my honorable mentions. So there you
Okay.
go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have CJ somewhere here. Let me see. On my top 100, CJ is. Let me double check here. CJ is my number 22, so he's up there. But yeah,
Okay.
my
Gotcha.
my thing for CJ is just he didn't play a lot of competitive and wasn't a super strategic player. He was just. I mean, he played and he played well whenever he did, but he's very rarely have I seen anything of him like taking over a competitive game. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna do fine. He's not a stupid player. He's not reckless, and he's gonna win every gunfight if your name's not Alfred Freddy.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Freddy's super versatile, extremely good foul, like criminally underrated foul. Like I thought when I saw that shit with CJ, I was just like, okay, this is another person who's like mastered the AK. He whips out the foul. He's just as good, even though he like rarely uses it. He's like
Yeah.
maybe better with the foul. Like
What the fuck?
I've seen him do ridiculous shit with the foul. Really good
All right.
pistol too. Like, yeah, yeah. Freddy is my like at least top 5 foul users all time.
Wow. Okay.
But
And
yeah,
he's what on your list in general?
5.
On your total? 5.
The
Gotcha.
yeah the only knock on Freddy, the only reason he isn't higher, well, there's two, but one that I weigh more heavily. The one that I is like not super important is that he just never used a mic, or very rarely did. I think I've heard him
Interesting.
say like 2 words. So
Okay.
like for communication in game,
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
he's not like the best teammate he could possibly be just because he can't communicate with you or didn't.
Right.
I think he used his mic for his matches with Pierre, but yeah, he just doesn't like talking on the mic. Um, and then the other thing is he does have games where he just like it's just not going for him. Like I've seen him go negative against like not great teams like every once in a while,
Right.
and I don't know if it's just like he's just not playing super seriously, or if he's just getting like
Right.
really bad like blind fire luck and just getting
Yeah.
like lucky grenades like thrown against him or whatever. But he just has these games where it's just like okay, it's not working, but he comes right back and drops like 18-9 on
Yeah.
you
Of
the next
course.
game.
Of course.
So there's a little bit of inconsistency where he's not like bulletproof in terms of competitive play
Yeah.
where he can be
He doesn't
figured
have a
out.
force field around him.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Freddy's my number 5.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so my number 6, I know he's on your list. I'm curious if we have him in the same spot because I'd be surprised if you have him much higher.
I don't think we do, but go ahead.
Die A667.
Okay. Okay. No, he's not my number 6. Not my
Oh,
number 6.
ooh,
He's my number 3. I have
number
him above Sergio. Yeah.
damn. Okay, that's very interesting. So you have Tyson. Okay, Okay, I know what your list is. All right. Yeah. So Die is super interesting. He is like OG, like we said, Uncharted 2
Facts.
beta
Yeah.
player, and
Mm-hmm.
was immediately he was one of the best players in the beta.
Yep.
You know, he's no like Butta, but really good. um, I would say he is the second best foul I've ever seen.
Interesting.
He
Okay.
is a
I'm curious to hear your number one. I think I agree with that though. I think I agree with that. I don't know if like again, I definitely put Weezy. I'm definitely biased towards Weezy because he's one of my best friends and he's my teammate. But and I've seen him foul like 1,000 fucking times. So he never misses. That's why I put him as number one. But I probably put Die as number two.
yeah. So the thing I would say, the reason I would give Die 2, and it's very close, like it's 1A and 1B for my 1 and 2. I'm not even sure if you're going to have my 1A on your like top foul users list, just because he doesn't use it a lot. He's
Real
kind of,
quick, who is it?
nah, we'll get there.
No. Oh, we'll
Um,
get there. Okay, fair enough.
oh yeah, he's above Die on the list. So, um,
Got it.
um, Die is the only player, and maybe you could tell me if Wheezy does this, where he can adapt with the foul just so effortlessly, close range, mid range, long range, where he can slow it down and have that like pinpoint long range accuracy. He can bunny hopping, jumping off of a train, like he can snipe you out of the air,
Yeah.
like 50
Mm-hmm.
feet away as you're falling, and he could track you with the
Yep.
foul and like fucking two burst you. He does the most
Yeah.
insane shit, close range, like shotgun versus foul. Die's gonna win.
Yeah.
Like
No, for
if he
sure.
has the foul, like ridiculous. He's so evasive and so weird the way he moves around the map. He's um believe, and now this may not be true, but according to my brother, according to Keeper learned all of the like weird jump spots from Die. Like Die figured out like all that shit for him. And
I believe that.
I don't know if Die heard it from someone else, which is probably the case. I'm pretty sure it was Die and some other like OGs just going in lobbies and like fucking around trying to jump from areas, and so all of the
Right.
maneuvering around the map, he's so familiar with. There are times, there are literally spots on Plaza which I didn't even think to like jump from to like get to some area quicker, that I found out in
Yeah.
like 2014 watching a cinema. I'm like, holy shit, I never thought about that.
Yeah, bro. That happened to me so many times where like I thought I knew everything about the game. I thought I knew all there is to learn, and then I will watch a cinema from like 2011 of some like OG playing, and I learned something new. I'm like, holy fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
yeah,
And Daya's just like peak for that. He's also a ridiculously good sniper, probably like top 10, maybe top
yes,
5 sniper.
yes,
His
agreed.
the only like weakness, and it's not even a weakness because he's still like ridiculously good. His AK isn't elite. He's not.
Okay,
He's not.
I think I agree with that.
He's not Freddy. He's not CJ. He's not Monster with an AK.
Right.
He's very good. He's Sergio. He's Blinky. He's Abadizi. We're just a normal, really fucking good really good
Yeah.
player. He's a problem for what else? Yeah, a few. Yeah, the negatives is not super elite. AK, and he also has a little bit of the Balloon Sergio asterisk. Sometimes Die was just leggy as fuck,
Interesting.
but
Okay.
but he could do it with or without leg. His tournament stats aren't crazy because he only played in one, and
And it wasn't with Get Positive, so
yeah, no, it was
it's
with Pierre, and round two was verse, or was it round three? Anyway, he played versus Tice Mac and UB, and he still did fine.
oh wow.
1.11 KD, 3.4
Okay.
assists, and he was 3.4 assists per game was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's Die, and if you watch that series, Pure versus UB, Die did some crazy shit. He did some crazy evasive moves and kind of tricked the hell out of some players, and could like he's just a master escape artist and so
Yeah, for
crafty.
sure, for sure. I feel like Dai is one of the perfect blends of tactical, but can also rush at the same time. He's like
Oh yeah,
definitely a double hazard when it comes to that.
yeah, yeah. He's so good. Like it's so interesting because his skill set translates so well to rushing. Because again, it's super evasive, really good in close quarters if he just runs into someone. But weirdly, he's I think because of his foul, he was even better in like super campy, like slow down. Like if you get one of those OG no power weapon matches that goes like that ends like 15-10, Dai's
Yep,
going 5-0 because he's
for
too
sure,
evasive. You can't just pick him off, and he's gonna snipe you with a foul. Like
definitely.
he, yeah. I've just if there was a hit percentage on the foul, I think Dai would legit be close to like 90%. Like
Oh yeah, I believe it.
insane. Like it doesn't matter what you're doing, bunny hopping, like rolling, your head glitching, your
Hmm.
corner shooting. It it's freakish.
Yeah, I would definitely put Dai top two with the foul. I'd definitely put him top five with the sniper. Excellent sniper.
Hmm.
Um, even the fucking Moss shotgun. He was probably the best
Oh
Moss
yeah.
shotgun player like I've ever seen.
What was
Like
that? There was an
he,
old video. I think it was Taiki M13 had a what Daigo Dai went like he had some like stupid like almost rampant just with the shotgun.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And
It's
again, it was so it was
like who
verse.
was notable for the shotgun, bro? Like who?
It's just
Like
him and Sergio pretty much. Like that's all.
yeah, facts. Like just just a weapons expert. No
That's
matter
just.
what he picked up, he was good with it. He was good with the pistol. Like you said, it was
Hmm.
probably like his least his least efficient weapon was probably the AK, and like
Yeah.
I think that's probably just because he was always picking up something else.
Yeah.
Like you can only get so much practice with the AK when you're always picking up the sniper, always picking up the foul,
It's like
always picking
ooh
up
ooh a sniper ooh a
the shotgun,
shotgun
always
yeah.
picking yeah.
And he
Literally, bro, just a total weapons expert.
and he
Always top of his team. Hardly ever any clips of him going negative. Like just
mm,
an all-out beast. And the fact that he was like without a doubt the best player on arguably the best team
yeah the
in
best OG team.
yeah, the best OG team by far and get positive. Like he was their MVP for sure. That
Hmm.
speaks volumes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's it's so crazy, especially when you consider like Get Positive's main rival, besides We Us, was was Pure with like Naruto, Freddy. I don't think
Yeah,
Tice was on Pure at that time,
at the
like very
time.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, but KPT Karma, Alex, I think
Yep.
Smosh, Blinky,
Lefties.
the legend himself. We'll get to him higher on the list. Um, but yeah, and uh, everything I've heard, Get Positive rolled through Pier, and it was pretty much because of two things. Get Positive figured out the map control and kind of perfected spawn trapping first,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
Die.
Yep.
That's it.
Couldn't agree more, man.
Like
Couldn't agree more.
every other player on Get Positive, I think was worse than Naruto, worse than Freddy, probably on par
Yeah,
with
I
Alex and
agree with that.
Karma.
I agree with that.
So yeah, their team top to bottom
Yeah.
wasn't elite. They just had like like at the time top three player,
Yep.
and
And best teamwork for sure.
oh yeah, yeah, and yeah. So Die I had at number
I'm
six.
surprised Dai's that low on your list, but I respect it.
Yeah, it's the little sample size we have in stats isn't great. The little bit,
Yeah,
a little bit of
yeah,
a slap on the wrist for lag, and and I mean honestly, that's pretty much it. Realistically, my 4, 5, and 6 are basically a three-way tie that I just got to split hairs between. And
yeah.
I've already talked about Freddy at 5, so yeah, Freddy and I are
Right.
basically a tie. Freddy
Okay.
I don't think has the connection issues.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Yeah, who's your
Yeah.
number 6?
My number 6 is none other than Beastly Bosna.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
Uh.
again, disclaimer, like, I had to include 5 players of, new gen and 5 players of old gen. But
Wow.
yeah, yeah, Beastly Bosna, very underrated, very underrated. He bro, he was underrated to me, before the Nostalgia tournament. Like he probably wouldn't have even been top 50 on my list before the Nostalgia tournament. I barely knew who this guy was, but he impressed me so much in
His.
Nostalgia, man. He popped off, like rightfully so. He
Mhm.
won MVP. I mean, that definitely gives him some points on my list. That's why I think I put him above Freddie. Is just he won a major tournament and he was the MVP of that major tournament. That's probably why I put him above Freddie. Um,
Damn.
but
Okay.
just crazy good at rushing. Crazy good at rushing. He is what Mario Madness could have been if Mario Madness was smarter. Like Mario was always like kind of the best in your face, the best at rushing, but he didn't have a brain. He would just run into a group of 3 people and just get demolished and go like 9 and 18.
Yeah.
But Bosna knows how to do it correctly, and he will go 18 and 9.
He knows. Yeah. He understands
Yeah,
pacing.
and he is so evasive too, man. Like his movement is fucking wild, bro. Like he is literally just like a fucking, I don't even know how to describe it, bro. Like he is so slippery, just a slippery snake, just weaving in and out of gunfire and just fucking you up, man. Like, super smart player too. He myself and Monster developed all of our strategies, or perfected all of our strategies, whatever you want to call it, for the tournament.
Mhm.
And yeah, just super all around fucking goat, man.
Yeah. So
Definitely really impressed me for nostalgia.
his original account is Bosna Snipes, right?
Yes, but from
Okay.
what I understand, he and his brother shared that account. But yes,
Okay. So
um,
that's a
yeah,
big. That might be a big factor. I have him on my top 100. He is number 24. Part of
okay,
that is
gotcha.
because we played versus him on Cab, and I think we played like 3 games, and he really was not great in this match. Like he did about as well as anyone else on Cab, but
Yeah,
personal like matchups around 20, this was what, 2012, 13, 14. I played against him a lot playing against Cab, and he was
Interesting.
always just
Okay,
like, okay, pretty good.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think he really like
I
came
think he
into
came
his
into his
prime late,
own. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
and
Cause I hadn't even heard of him until like 2017, maybe 2015. But super impressive in nostalgia, man. Like
yeah.
crazy tournament. Like I mean, like isn't he like top? Isn't he first in fucking kills per game and assists per game?
Yeah,
So
technically yes, but
smaller sample size, of course, but
yeah, but well, if
it's
I gave him the option to combine his stats from
right,
Boston and
right.
Boston Snipes. So if we combine those, he's still top like 10 or 15.
Yeah,
Probably top 10 in
yeah.
both. But yeah, it
I think it's
was.
fair to differentiate the two, only because like he was a totally different player on Boston Snipes.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't even compare to me. So
Yeah. So that's kind of the two, I guess, two big asterisks I would have is, or I guess 3. One is I have a lot of personal experience playing against him, um, although mostly in earlier years. I'm sure, like every now and then, again, I would run into. I don't keep track of the hundreds of players that we do like just pickup games with. Um, Um,
right.
but yeah, early on, not. I have nothing bad to say about him, but
Yeah,
it was just
nothing spectacular.
yeah, like if I remember someone's name, it's because they were exceptionally bad or exceptionally great, and he was just
Yeah,
like another player who was just like, yeah, he blends in
yeah,
fine. He
he's there.
can
Yeah,
totally hold
that's
his
fair.
own and like respectable. Like if I need one for some like hardcore customs, and like I'll shoot him and
Right.
invite that kind, just kind of blends into like the broader like pool of players. Um, so the experience, personal experience that I had playing against him early on. Second is the nostalgia tournament. There has to be a little bit of an asterisk with the competition. I think like anything after 2013, because 2013 you still had OMG coming back, you still had Pro coming
Right.
back and practicing, and you Ox played
That's
in
fair.
some of the
Yeah.
tournaments.
Yeah.
So there was a good mix, but 2019 was really just exclusive second generation, and he clearly got better, and he clearly outgrew the Boston Snipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, the nostalgia tournament is if we do top tournament MVPs, he's gonna be up there. Like
Yeah. For sure.
he's not the
I
worst
mean,
MVP.
even the finals alone, like 1337 is a very good team.
Hmm.
Like I said earlier, I think that they would at least be top 15 all time, which is nothing to scoff at. There's been a lot of teams in Uncharted's history. Um, and he like just in the finals alone, he went fucking crazy. Like on Village, he went like 22-11 on Village of all maps. So like just the fact that he was able to do that, against a really good fucking team, like that really spoke volumes to me.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, and the third point I have where I would differentiate and like put other teams above him is that basically, and this is a little bit of the Slick Kid curse, where you guys, Odyssey, were so good that you guys were constantly playing with map control, playing with
yeah,
the power weapons, and so
that's true.
I
That's
would
true.
I would like a little bit more of like seeing what he does against an OMG Pro
Yeah.
peer when they lose map control, and see if he can take over Catwalk, see how he plays
Yeah,
in that, like really
that's fair.
when the deck stacked against him, and see if he can pull off that kind
Yeah,
of highlight play that you see from some other players, like we mentioned, like Freddy could just pop off and like you know win a 1v2 gunfight situation for map control, and
yeah,
Sergio can do some crazy shit on his own, and especially if he gets control of, or if he gets like Hammer and Bottom Temple, like he could take over Catwalk.
right.
So yeah, that's what holds me back for Bosna.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe he has a chance to. Honestly, no, he does. He's in the Uncharted Reloaded. He could move up my list with some more tournament sample size, and see if he runs into some tough teams. Pro is probably coming back.
Yeah.
Not the OG. It's not going to be Maddie
I have
Croatia.
full
The whole
faith that he will. I have full faith that he will
yeah.
impress.
So yeah, it'll be fun to see, because that is his legacy is still in the making.
Yeah. I thought about cheating a little bit and doing Bosna slash Razeceptions at the same time. Just because they're like they're a dynamic duo. They go hand in hand.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't want to be that guy and cheat on the list. So so I ended up
Okay.
going with Bosna just for the MVP win and how great of a tournament he had.
Okay.
But Raze is an honorable mention.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so that was your number 6, right, Bosnia?
Yep.
Okay,
Top
so we
five.
we already went over my 5, Freddy. So who was your number 5?
Yep.
Did we mention them already?
My number 5, which again I could totally switch with 4, is Tice Mac.
Okay.
3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just do this because in another way, Tice and Sergio are a little dynamic duo.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
so similar, but there's some key differences.
Okay.
So I'll just start with the reason I have TiceMac 4 and Sergio 7
Mm-hmm.
is one, and again, this is going to kind of go back to the little question marks or asterisks I have with Sergio. I think TiceMac still had some problems with lag here and there, but not as bad as Sergio. Um, TiceMac's foul is, I think, significantly better than Sergio's,
Interesting.
and TiceMac's skill translates pretty well to no power weapons.
For sure. For sure.
He definitely benefits from power weapons and from map control. Like that's where he really shines. But I think the step down, it's like it's like a half step for TiceMac and a full step for Sergio. Where Sergio's like A plus plus with power weapons and then like borderline A plus without. TiceMac's like A plus plus and A plus without power weapons.
That's fair. That's fair.
The only the the thing I think if you wanted to argue Sergio over Tice, it would be Sergio does not have the duds that TiceMac does, because TiceMac was prone to having some shit games.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't count it too much because they weren't super practiced, but when TiceMac came back for a little bit, like a couple months, and then played TDT,
Yeah,
he
they got stomped, but
that
I don't consider that legit, to be
yeah
honest. Like, he was a fucking JAO and fucking some other
yeah
lackluster play. Was it Glory? I don't know. I mean,
yeah
Glory was good
it
at the time,
was
but
it,
JAO was never anything special, and that team was very mid. But
yeah it was kind of a second team UB. But yeah, Tice didn't do great, and I kind of chalk that up to like he really thrives with map control, with power weapons especially,
okay,
and he was going against a team that was like, I mean, probably I would argue the best, no, the best or second best team of all time, definitively the best new era team, and
for sure.
they had mastered map control. And so TiceMac was in a position with not the greatest team and definitely not his 100% self, but he wasn't just jumping back on. He had been playing for, I think, the 1 to 2 months.
Yeah,
And I asked
yeah.
him directly around the time because I was playing customs with him. I was like, "How do you feel? Do you feel like you're like at your like best self right now?" And I don't believe him. He's like, I mean, pretty much. That's what he was saying. He was like, I feel really good. I'm like, I should have asked him again after the TDT match and be like,
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
sure?
yeah. Well, I mean, also, like, when you have straight burgers on your team, even if you're
hmm
at your best, you're not going to be able to do that much against, like you said, arguably the best Uncharted 2 team of all time, if not the best. So,
Yeah.
even if he had a bad tournament, it's because of the people around him for sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. And then there were trying to remember which matches exactly. I think one of the I can't remember exactly, but I know I've seen some TiceMac vids and just scoreboards where he's minus three, -4, which is just like
Right.
everyone has those games like every day. But for TiceMac level player, for anyone on this list, like going like -4 is like what? What happened? Like that's
Yeah,
unheard of. So
for
he is
sure.
prone to these kind of like just mediocre games where he's fine.
Okay.
He's never going to lose a map for a team.
Right.
But yeah, kind of like Freddy, he has these maps where it's just like it just seems like maybe he was constantly trying to rush and push for positioning when he didn't really have the leverage to. He was, you know, fighting against map control and just kept pushing and kind of just
Yeah.
throwing shit against the wall, and so he goes like what, 10 and 14 or something.
Right.
So yeah, but on the other hand, he has that factor of like he could pop off and just like take out 3 people in 30 seconds and take over catwalk on Temple and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely the star player MVP on UB.
Hmm.
UB was definitely top 4 best teams in the game. For that era. Definitely carried them for sure. He was also a star player on Pure when he joined them for the rematch against OMG. And that team was basically a god squad. And if you're one of the best players on a god squad, then fuck, that speaks for
Hmm.
itself. He went on to join Get Positive in Uncharted 3, and they won the Big Two Crew tournament, the first one, and he was MVP of that. So he was even better after he left Uncharted 2. Um,
Hmm.
and just all around, just fucking beast, man. Like I've never seen anybody else in the game ever. I mean, maybe you have, but I personally have never seen anybody else be able to like use Turtle and the Riot Shield and have a
Oh,
foul and be able to push in with the Riot Shield, drop the Riot Shield real quick, switch to the foul, two burst you, and then pick up the fucking Riot Shield again before anybody else kills you. Like I've never seen anybody do that before. And it was just super impressive when I saw that. But just all
yeah.
around fucking wild player.
I'm glad you mentioned that because if we're to go back to the man who taught him the turtle, Die.
Die. Yep. Die.
Fucking
Die was the turtle player
Die
for sure.
would absolutely do every get positive temple game. Die
Yep.
Die used turtle and he used turtle. He would
Yep.
always to take over map control and again same thing, pop up 2 bursts back into the shield and you're like what the
For sure.
fuck. Yeah, so I really think again Die and Tice are their own like interesting duo. I think Tice just got I think Tice. I think for whatever reason, I think the only real difference as far as skill set between Die and Tice is Tice's AK was definitely better.
Yeah. For sure.
And I think that as far as map awareness and being able to play with map control and really just be like again that like border between where your team's set up and where the opponents are pushing
Hmm.
to just to roam along that border and just take people out like a him and Sergio are like the clear like
Yeah.
1 and 2 like do not give these people power positions where Die doesn't quite do the same thing and doesn't play the same thing. I think that the difference is Tice will run into a room with 3 people and he's like, "Yeah, I can get out of here alive." Die will be like, "I can escape this."
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Tice is like, "I could take out all
I
3 of you." Die's like,
I
"I'm
think
gonna
I think
squirrel around and pick off one of you at a
yeah.
time." For, you know,
Yeah, Tice would ego challenge and he would probably likely win, but Die would know not would be smart enough not to put himself in a position to where he
yeah.
could, he could get fucked over even if he could win.
Yeah,
Like if
Die
he
would
took a shot.
never
Yeah,
play from an inferior position. He would maneuver
for sure.
around to make sure had the advantage, and he
Definitely.
got it. Yeah, Tice would do ridiculous shit and walk out of that room
Yep.
with 3 more kills.
And playing like that is probably why he would have those mediocre games every now and then
Oh,
where he's,
exactly.
-3, -4. So risk reward, but overall just an insane player.
Yeah, and it's also why like indifference. Yeah, I would also say comparing Sergio to Tice, Tice definitely adapted better to really slow down hardcore OG matches because of his foul.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
but then, yeah, between Tice and Die, Tice is the ego chow and probably win. He's definitely taken someone with him.
Hmm.
Whereas Die, again, is going to evade, get to a better position, and just outplay you and not
For
necessarily
sure.
outshoot you.
Yeah.
And so Die translated just so insanely well to slow down matches. Tice adapted pretty well. Like it was a negligible step down, but probably a step down. Um, and yeah, and then Sergio's just the ultimate. Like he absolutely feasts in motion, in chaos, and is just kind of good in slowdown.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, that whole mix of Sergio, Dai, Freddy, Tice is it's so close.
Yeah. No,
But
I totally agree. I like the more we talk about it, the more I want to put Tice higher than Sergio, but my list is already made, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna
you're
edit
good.
it
You're
now.
good.
But I
Yeah,
originally only put Sergio higher than Tice because of all the
the
execution
tournament
in the tournament
face-offs. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I would just last thing throw in. I think Tice's just connection was a little bit more consistent than Sergio or Dai.
Yeah.
So a little bit more reliable attestation you can give to his
Right.
actual skill. But
Okay.
yeah, you said your number 4 was Sergio, so we're just
Yep.
going to 3.
All right.
This I don't think this is going to be your number 3. I think my number 2. Oh my god. Actually, I have no idea how you're going to organize these 3. I hope we have the same top 3 right here. Monster
Well,
1215.
we can have the same top three because Die is my third.
Oh my god, wait. You left someone in my top 3 off.
I did, yeah.
Wow, I'm going to fight you. Okay, Monster is my number 3.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's hear the reasoning. Well, I mean, I don't need the reasoning why he's on there. I need the reasoning why he's not higher. Or
What's your
I'm curious why he's not higher.
Okay. Um Shoot, it's so hard. I want to compare him directly to my 1 and 2, but without revealing anything. He also has he has a little bit of the Tice Freddy thing where he can have his bad matches.
Okay.
He was a little bit of a late bloomer. He really struggled in the Uncharted 2 tournament 2012 against BMX. I think he went like
Yeah. That was definitely before he came into his own, though.
yeah.
And which isn't his fault, but to bounce off of that, I think he started playing in 2011, like mid to late 2011, maybe. I
Hmm.
could be wrong. Don't kill me, Monster, if you're listening to this. I know you will, but
Okay. So around the
I think
time
he
Big
started
Two
playing.
Cruise tournaments.
So he like in that tournament he definitely was not fully in his own, but like I would fully
Yeah.
like if Monster did start playing in 2009, I would fully put him up there to go toe to toe with the greats. So, but go ahead.
So interesting. So yeah, that's worthwhile because I remember the first time I ran into Monster. It was a public match. It was one of those very early matches that I played. I was like level 40 at the time or something.
Okay.
Me, Farv, and Rocco, and it was
Mm-hmm.
Monster. I think Uncharted Wind and
Okay.
some other two fly guy. And
Yeah.
Rocco was talking mad shit.
Yes. Yes. I
And
remember that. I
we
remember
three
that. Rocco would tell me about it.
we 3v3'd them, and Rocco got a Fury on them.
Oh damn.
Yeah, we destroyed them, and that got me hyped because it was like one of my first competitive matches.
Yeah.
This was
Early.
probably
Early.
this was around. My God, it wasn't like super early because I was. Yeah, it was 2011 for sure. I can't remember how close it was to the Big Two crew tournaments, but yeah. So I started talking shit, and I remember that was like the first. I got so hyped about that, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I was talking shit to Monster, and I was like, this guy fucking sucks. Like I'm level 40. Like, get this
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
scrub out of here. Like, I was talking mad shit with my
That's so funny.
fucking squeaker voice. Um,
Uh,
yeah. So, and then when I found out that what Monster was on Two Fly or whatever, I joined. What was the team that was always like, there was Killmatic, um,
Envious.
Envious, yeah,
Aaron,
Envious versus Two Fly. So
yeah.
I joined Envious because I was like, I'm not joining Two Fly. Like I wanna, like I already know, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
I had a little beef with Monster. I don't even think he remembers that. Like I don't think he cares at all.
yeah. Of course not. I mean, water
um,
under the bridge at this point.
yeah, but yeah, I thought he sucked. And then my Uncharted 2 tournament 2012 came around, and when BMX beat him, I was like, this fucking guy, like.
Yeah.
And then
And then look what he became.
yeah, I should have held my tongue because oh my god,
Yeah, right.
my number 3 player in Uncharted history, um,
Ended up being that BMX guy.
yeah,
The guy that lost to BMX.
that Two Fly scrub,
Yeah.
um,
It's so funny that you brought up when you first met Monster, because I also kind of have a funny story about how I met Monster. It was also in a public game. It was on Trainwreck. This was probably like late 2011, maybe like right before Uncharted 3 came out. I ran into him. He was probably like a party of 3 or something. He was playing with like Big Drewski or
yeah,
Brewski. I don't know. Some like
Drewski
family kid of his or
71,
whatever.
Big Drewski
Yeah,
71.
And some other guy. And I was probably with a party of 5. I was playing with like my friends at the time who were kind of garbage, but you know they were cool people, so I played with them. And we completely stomped them. We definitely won by a considerable margin. And the whole time, Big Drewski, or whatever the fuck his name is talking mad shit to us. Oh, you guys are trash. You guys suck. Yeah, blah blah blah. You know, we're laying it back into him. We're laying it back into him. And Monster was the only one on the team that went positive. And he's like a level 61 at the time. So this is super early in Monster's career. But yeah, he was the only one that went positive. We were all talking shit to each other except Monster. He wasn't joining in on all that. It was just the Drewski guy. And Monster sends me a friend request, and he's like, "Yeah, good game, man. Like you're a good player. We should play sometime." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's very cool." You know, his buddy's talking shit, but you know, this guy was nice, and he was the only one that positive. So you know, maybe he has potential. Yeah, why not? I'll add him. Why not? And so
This
I
guy could
accepted
be
his
all
friend
right.
request. Yeah, I accepted his friend request. Never played with him. Uncharted 3 came out. I left Uncharted 2 to go play Uncharted 3, while you know he pretty much still stayed and played Uncharted 2. I kept him on my friends list though. And you know, eventually in like 2013, when I came back to the game, it was like late 2013, maybe early 2014, I came back to the game. And I'm like, oh, this guy Monster 1215 still plays. And then he became, you know, one of the greatest Uncharted players of all time. I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. I just ran into this dude randomly in a public match, and you know, I ended up winning a tournament with him literally fucking 8 years later. That was pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely one of the new gen, little bit late bloomer. Like, don't
Yeah,
don't hold them to their 2011, 2012 era.
definitely.
Um, the what else was it? Sorry, I'm just trying to remember what my train of thought was after 2012. Yeah, then it was a 2013 thing, and sorry, I don't have to go through the we were talking about why why he's not number 1 or 2. So it
Yeah.
was the early years where kind of slow start or late start. The reason I have to count that a little bit is because of players like Sergio Pro, Freddie, Tice, who did it way back then and came back and were still really good.
Yeah.
Tice less so because he didn't just practice as much, but Freddie came back and played semi-regularly and one of the best players around. Sergio came back in 2013, like almost 2 years later. Got warmed up, got back in Uncharted 2 shape, and dominated. So the being able to play in different eras, there is just a little bit of how good would Monster be and how would he compete against the Naruto Tice Freddy peer,
Yeah.
against fully fully practiced, fully in their prime OMG
Right.
against Get Positive if
Right.
they, of course, stayed and kept evolving with the rest of
The game. Yeah.
the players. Yeah. So there is a little bit of question mark where I have zero question mark about Sergio and Freddy.
Yeah.
A little bit about
That's fair.
Tice because I don't know how. Um, like I guess I shouldn't because of course if he practiced and really committed to got into the competition, there's no reason he wouldn't be doing what he did against Sergio Bro, who came back
Right.
as well. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. The late start. There is occasionally he does have the iffy games, and um, I'm not sure if there's anything else. I think that's is pretty much it compared to, and I will say at this stage, top three. There's really the difference is my number one player. I have literally nothing on my list for a criticism. No leg. There's no weapon he isn't good with. Competitive power weapon.
Yeah.
No power weapon. He's I think the perfect player. And
Okay.
is my number two is basically a tie with Monster. It's just like different style of Monster.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, do you want to talk about Monster or
I'll talk about Monster when I get to him on my list.
okay?
And if you want to splice them together, you can. It's up to you. But
Okay, is Monster. If we can talk about it, we're at the top right now. If you want to, this is it. Top three. You've already.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
Okay. Okay. Who's your number three? You said is Die.
Die. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll get to my number two, which is
Okay.
Glaucoma.
Okay. Okay. Respectable. Respectable.
Is he
Yeah.
not on your list?
Glock is not. Glock is an honorable mention.
Wow.
Now again. Okay. I guess I didn't say this originally, but I'll say it now. This is my personal list. So like we all have our own personal biases. Like, like I had Wheezy so high up on my list because I played with him so much. I've seen his greatness in action. Probably hundreds of times. Where you might not have seen that. So like if you had, maybe he'd be even higher on your list. Who knows? But I played against Glock a good amount. Nothing too crazy. Like I didn't play against him as much as I played against Balloon. I definitely didn't play against him as much as I played against Monster or anybody else on this list. I only played against him probably maybe like 15, 20 times. And in those matches, he was always impressive. He never, to me, he never stood out as a standout star. He was never, Balloon's godly force field level. He was never, up there with Monster. But I always thought he was a good player. I think the only reason why he isn't higher on my list is because of my lack of playtime with him. And I don't
Okay.
think I ever played on the same team as him ever.
And
So I don't know about his communication. I don't know about his tactics and his smartness. I have a very small sample size to compare. So
okay,
had it been higher, then maybe.
he's from what I've heard, he's a decent communicator, not like super crazy. Because the Johan UTD live streamed the first 2 or 3 games versus OMG, so you got to hear a little bit of their comms
Okay.
and yeah,
Okay.
is like oddly the comms on TDT weren't amazing in that. It
Yeah.
was mostly Kojad raging.
Yeah.
But yeah, Johan, Monster, and Glock were good about their callouts, and that was actually I can't remember. Yeah, Monster was in that finals. But yeah, so decent comms. I'll just throw this out there that Glock has a .03 lower KD than Wheezy in almost twice as many games in tournaments.
Wow.
And that's
Okay.
again, this is to the grand finals in every tournament he played for
Yeah.
Glock. He's also 9th in assists per game. A little bit lower. He's still in the top 50. He's number 36 in kills per game all time. In totals, he is number 2 all-time assists, number 2 all-time kills.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, it's super respectable. Again, like he'd definitely be higher if I played against him more. I don't think I ever played against him when he was on glaucoma. I don't think I ever did. You know, that was his main account that he played on. That was the one he was on the
Yeah.
most. I think I only played against him when he was on K Moon. And if you ask people who K Moon even is, I don't think they would remember. That's how, little he played on it, and which shows how little I played against him for him to be higher. So.
Yeah, and I would also say the lowest KD he ever had in a tournament was 127.
Wow.
Which
That's
is
really good, man.
higher than my highest ever. And that was 14 game sample size.
Damn, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I say, like, him and Monster are like a tie and kind of two different players because I think skill, they're pretty much equal when I go against them, AK, foul, whatever it is. They're pretty indistinguishable to me,
Okay.
but Glock, I feel like, can do the Glock can do a better job rushing like Monster than Monster can holding spawns in like a really grinded out OG camp fest.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Glock would have no problem playing against any of the OGs.
Right.
And at the same time, he could run around Sanctuary against Sergio Pro and go toe-to-toe with him like he did in the 2013 finals, where he won MVP against OMG. Yeah, he was ridiculous, and the versatility, and I think he got multiple Furies in a tournament.
Wow.
I think he has like 3 or 4 Furies in tournament play. Like,
That's fucking dope.
again, the only thing that I would say, the only knock I could have, because I have nothing that I can say about number 1, is that he pretty much always played with map control.
Yeah.
By virtue of being on TDT, there is just like, could Glaucoma really like solo take over Catwalk, or like 1v2, 1v3 situation? Does he come
Yeah.
out like Sergio can, Tycemat can? Die, maybe. It would take him like a couple minutes because they would just lose him on Catwalk, and
Right.
then he'd come out with a shotgun and get it done. I don't think Freddy would, because he would smoke someone in a gunfight and then probably not have like the awareness to know how to handle the other two quite like Sergio or Tice could.
Yeah.
Just these scenarios, theory crafting about all this. Like, I feel like I don't know the answer to that with Glock, because he's pretty much always had a very comfortable position on TDT.
Makes sense. That makes sense. And honestly, like I didn't even consider that being a factor. That's super insightful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely put a lot more thought into your list, and I respect that.
Oh, shit. But okay, so I think I know. I mean, I know who your number 1 is because you think you're being clever.
No,
So
I just suspense. Not suspense, but like I don't know.
who's
I feel like it makes sense to talk about our number 1's last.
Sure. Your number 2, Naruto Doom.
Who is probably your number 1? Yes, Naruto Doom.
Yeah.
So he's your number 1. So I'll let you lead the charge on that.
Okay. So I'll real quick. We don't have to really talk about each specific player, but honorable mentions. We already mentioned Slick for mine.
Oh yeah.
The other few, I'll say, because Slick and these other 4, I really could put up at 9 or 10. And they are Kerry Iker, Croatia Checker, Maddie90, and Maku.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I didn't get the pleasure of playing with any of the pro peeps when they played Uncharted 2, so
Maddie,
they'd probably be they would probably be in my honorable mentions had
Ma-
I, but I never did. So.
I think Maddie is the only or the closest to getting a rage in a tournament. I think he had a 13 or 14 kill streak.
Oh wow,
Yep.
that's pretty tough. Yeah.
I think it went 17-4 versus someone I forget, but yeah.
Yeah, Malku was also fucking cracked. I always thought he was super good. I would personally I wouldn't put him on any list because I don't think he played competitive that much. Maybe you have stats that I don't know about, but to my understanding, I think he was only really in We Us, and they were
Yep.
definitely not a clan battle, definitely not a tournament team. But overall, I definitely thought he was super fucking good.
It's funny you say that because Weas signed up for my 2011 Resurrection tournament and
Ugh.
then eventually like dropped out. But yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But like just real quick, I won't get too in depth. Kerry Eicher was the
Definitely the number two.
the captain of OMG, the obvious number two.
Yeah.
He was his communication. I don't speak Spanish, but I know good communication when I hear it. And if you listen to their live games, Kerry he is nonstop, like rapid fire call outs.
That's dope.
Incredible.
And he was the leader, right? Wasn't he
Yeah.
the leader?
Yeah, he was a captain of. So yeah, a very worthy number two to Sergio. Probably like the best like glue guy, team cohesion. Like he brought it all together. It was his strategies, his everything. Super professional. Like just a tournament organizer's dream. Always on time. Always communicating, messaging, and yeah, just a solid guy. And then Croatia checker. Him and Maddie 90 are kind of two peas in a pod where
makes sense.
Them with D Barker on pro, like D Barker was the Sergio Pro Tice Mac role, and Croatia and Kerry were the Freddy Naruto kind of just secondary slayers. Like they aren't constantly jumping at the other team, and they aren't anchoring spawns. They just kind of roam and embarrass you in gunfights. They can get super aggressive, and they can slow down and play for picks. And don't have too much to say, but their stats are ridiculous. I think they're both like around a 120, 130 KD in tournament history, and played in multiple eras. And Croatia especially, Maddie not so much. He played a little bit in like 2012 and 13, but
okay.
And then Maku was in my first draft of this list. He was my number 9.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the only reason I can't really put him up there is because most of what I'm going off of is all of the I'm Me 21 verse fans screenshots.
Yeah.
If you look at those, Maku is carrying Weas every game.
For sure. For sure.
Like,
yeah, I always respected Malku. Like even back in the day, like one of my like super like trusted friends who was definitely friends with all the goats at the time was like, yo, Malku, like definitely like top 5 player in the game. So ever since then I was like, damn, okay, this guy's legit. And, you know, every time I played with him or against him, he was always popping off. So I always had high respect for Malku. It was a shame he never really played competitive.
Yeah, he was definitely like he was in high level customs, some try hard customs. He played with Weas, which is really just party of 5 matchmaking versus other party of 5s every now and then, you know, as they run into them. And one of the best snipers, like probably top 10. I believe, I want to say the Naughty Dog site used to have player KDs with each weapon.
They did, yeah.
And
kill counts. Yep.
Yeah, Maku, I think, was the highest that I ever saw in there.
Wow.
I think he had like a fucking 5-something KD with the sniper. So yeah, crazy good CJ-like aim with the AK. Not amazing with the FAL, from what I've seen, which comes down to like 3 cinemas that I've watched in full with him, and I'm first fans. Um, but yeah, rarely use the foul aimbot with the AK. Just didn't get hardcore into competitive, so we can't really compare him too much against the top competition.
Right.
And then Slick, we already talked about. So
Yes. Yes. For my honorable mentions, I already said Rays. We already talked about Glock. Silhouette Lights. I think he was a very good contributing member of TDT, and he was always probably the best on UPG at the time. Had Rock Bottom in there.
oh wow,
When I
okay.
first joined, again, my lists are half new, half old. But when I first joined Epic, I thought Rock Bottom was kind of trash, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was definitely never anything special. But the longer I played with Epic, definitely towards like the end of 2015 and also probably in early 2016, he really came into his own. For a while it was always me and Wheezy at the top of the scoreboard every game, but towards the latter end of that era, before Uncharted 4 came out, he was also up there with us almost every game, and sometimes was even better than us. He definitely came into his own at the right before Uncharted 4 came out, so I wanted to give him a shout out too.
Damn.
And then I had CJ, like we talked about. Mario Madness, probably the best face-to-face player in the game ever, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Yeah, he
Hot
just,
takes. I
yeah, hot take. Um, he definitely beat CJ in 1v1s. I know for a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know any scores or have any stories, but I do remember multiple people telling me about that.
Yeah.
But the only thing holding him back is his lack of a brain. He was a super hard rusher. If it worked, he would fucking pop off and drop 20, 25 kills. But if it didn't work, he would drop 20 deaths.
Yeah.
So, if only he was a little smarter.
He is one speed for sure.
Yeah. But skill-wise, top-notch. Just, you gotta have
Yeah.
a mix of both.
Really, really good foul.
And then it's funny that you brought both of these two up in multiple stories, because my other honorable mentions are Rocco and Favre.
No way.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're oh my god, they're probably around my number 60, 70.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah, no, Rocco I think is a super fucking underrated player. Rocco never was, I think, truly in a clan. So that kind of holds him back.
He was I don't know officially, but PWA, and he was officially in UB for sure. He was on their tournament roster.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, probably definitely top 10 foul in my opinion. Rocco was super good with the fucking foul.
Yeah.
If not even top 5.
Yeah, he's probably in my 5 to 7.
Would in any match I ever saw him in or was with him in, he would always pop off. He would always carry. He would hardly ever go negative. Sometimes he would. Everybody does, but just super super underrated. And it was a shame he didn't play more in the comp scene.
Yeah.
And then Favre, I think, is also super underrated. Was definitely one of the star players of PWA back when they famously beat Get Positive in that one clan battle.
Yeah, the quick one.
Yeah, also known as the Quick 110. Super good aim, super good 1v1 player, and a really smart tactical player. I think he joined UB after they were formed, and from my understanding and what from everybody else has told me was that he was basically the brains of that whole operation. He brought so many strategies. He was essentially the team leader at one point, even though it wasn't official, But he essentially acted as the leader. And if you're one of the leaders of a top 4 best clan in the game, that says something. So
yeah,
shout out to Favre.
Got you. Yeah. So, I would also, he's not on my honorable mentions, but I just want to, since I'm going to talk about this a little bit. Ice Cold Boxing. Ice Cold Boxing is
I was gonna add Ice to my list too of honorable mentions. Yes, very good player, very consistent over the years.
Yeah, he's and again multiple eras.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
did well in all of them.
I don't know exactly.
Only
but
downside, no mic.
Yeah, He's somewhere in my 20s. I forget exactly where I put
Okay.
him, but he's up there. I definitely wouldn't. The big thing against Rocco, very rarely played competitive,
Yeah.
and was not a rusher.
You
He,
think so? Interesting.
yeah, he really he like he's
When he came back to the game in like probably 2013, 2014, I definitely think he was. But
okay. Yeah,
maybe 2011, I think he was probably more foul.
I think he, as a foul player, spawn anchor for UB, I would say like he's like A minus A, like really up there, like below Glock, probably below Wheezy, below Die whenever he would anchor, and then it's probably Alex and Favre, or Alex
Okay.
and Rocco. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, and because I played the Uncharted 2 tournament with Favre, Ice, and Alex, so that's why I mentioned Ice. Um, Favre is kind of here, here, there. His communication wasn't great. He's a little bit susceptible to just stop calling out and kind of raging. Um,
Yeah.
he's a little Kojad in him. Um, and I think he did fine, but I know him and Alex were fighting a lot. Like Alex was not a lot. Like they didn't have like beef or anything, but
Yeah. They butted heads.
Alex was a little bit toxic. Um, but he was basically like him and Ice were like running things, and he just uh, he wanted Favre to like stay back because he was not like executing and like doing well in the power positions and rushing like he
Yeah.
wanted. So it was just like stay back, hold spawns, and like me and Ice are gonna take these guys out. Which is like, and the stats, Favre, his tournament stats aren't great. I could double check. I think they're around like a 1.1, 1.15 or so, which is like very respectable. Um, yeah, 1.15. Exactly. 7.67 kills per game. So yeah, definitely more of an anchor or kind of roaming uh, player rather than a rusher. But yeah, as a teammate, like he's one of my better teammates that I've ever played with, and like all respect and credit to him. But just on a different level, I think uh, than like everyone else we've mentioned.
Yeah.
I could see like a him versus Croatia and Maddie conversation, but I'm pretty confident that the rest of the guys I have like kind of on a different tier.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, and
Honestly, there could be so many different honorable mentions. Like there were so many good Uncharted players over the years. It's impossible to name them all.
like Butta,
Yeah. Exciter.
yeah,
Bioshock.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, number one. Let's do this shit. Naruto Doom. I guess. Okay, so yeah, I've mentioned it a little bit already, but there's nothing I can say about Naruto. Um, there's no questions. There's no lag. He's
Yeah. There's no asterisks.
surprisingly a really good sniper. He's my number one foul all time.
Okay.
He is. If I were ranking AK, it's probably like CJ, Freddy, Monster, Glock, and Naruto's like right there. Like I would say
Yeah.
like CJ and Freddy are like 1 and 2, and then Monster, Glock, and Naruto are tied for
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is I think the perfect blend of rushing and camping. Like he's a
Yeah.
better rusher than Die. He's a better camper anchor than um that. Well, I mean Die. Just I've,
Better rusher than Tice and Sergio. Better
well,
anchor than Die.
I
Yeah.
think pretty equal to Sergio and Tice, but there's one thing. One thing is really crazy about Naruto, which I don't think people respect because if I go to the averages here, his tournament stats aren't insane.
Really.
He's he's 14th in all-time KD, 9th in all-time kills per game, and 36th all-time assists per game. But fun fact, I don't. I'd have to double check this. I don't think he got any power weapon kills in either tournament he played in.
What
He
the fuck?
never touched a power weapon and has a 133.
That's fucking insane.
He was
Actually.
all AK M4 foul. He would when we played with him in 2012. It was Alex, Naruto, Ice, me, and Farv. Naruto is the guy to, hey, hammers up, someone come grab it when he's sitting on it. He's like, I'm not
Yeah,
touching this
yeah.
thing. Like I'm gonna go in there, take out 3 people, and you finish someone with the hammer. I think the only time he might have used it once in 2012 because it was, I think in the finals, in the grand finals when we were down with like a minute left, and they had catwalk control in Temple, and he picked up the hammer, went in, and killed like 3 people with it. So yeah, it's 10 out of 10 foul, 10 out of 10 AK, like 9 out of 10 sniper, 9 out of 10 pistol, 10 out of
Yeah.
10 anchoring, 10 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10 rushing guys. I don't know that if he could replicate a Sergio or Tice like 20 plus kill game. I'm sure he could, but I just think
Maybe not as consistent,
he would
but
never ego chow and like run into 3 people.
yeah.
He has the die kind of, I'm gonna pick you apart,
Yep.
and be evasive, but also I have Alfred, Freddy, CJ kind of gun skill, and we're like, if he can get one-on-one with you, you bet he's gonna take the gunfight, and like
Yeah.
only Monster, Glock, CJ, Freddy have a chance. Like
Hmm.
Tice, he runs in a room with Tice, Die, Sergio. He might not be the one walking out, but it won't be because of gun skill. It's gonna be they have the power weapon there. They, you know, I don't know if it's Die. Die would possibly confuse him and get him into a melee fight, and you know, there's but even in that, I think, yeah, run into a room, no power weapons, Naruto against anyone. Naruto, I think, is my choice. And
That's very respectable.
and I would also add in very, very good communication, like
Oh, absolutely.
top tier like call outs, like he was on top of his shit. So he's just like I have nothing. Like, and he also for that, yeah, he was like completely dominant in 2020, I think as early as '09. I know, because he was one of the first people giving get positive problems.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was,
He was on PWA
yeah,
with Mario and Freddy and
yeah,
I think even Favre. But I don't know if Favre was like super big back when PWA was a thing.
yeah.
Oh no, he was the quick one. Duh, we literally just talked about that. I was
Yeah.
thinking Favre for life. I was thinking that accounted specifically. But yeah.
So yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but just to, I just, and again, I've played with Die in some like tryhard customs, not on an actual team. I played with and against Die on tryhard teams, with and against Tice, a lot with and against Freddy, with and against Monster and Glock, and yeah, Naruto. If I were just going off of anecdote, I would also say like he seemed like he was on another tier than even that. Um, yeah, and no lag at all. Like I think he's from Cali. So definitely versus me, he
Yeah, I
didn't
think he
have
was
any.
definitely West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw him either. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean, like if you asked me to say anything bad about Naruto Doom, like I don't think I could do it. Like
Mm.
I'm trying to think of one thing against him right now, and genuinely nothing comes to mind. Like you're pretty much right. Like overall, just probably the perfect player. Like good at rushing, good at camping, good at playing tactically. Like honestly, probably the smartest player I've
Yo, yeah.
ever played with against whatever. Like
Did you
man's was fucking 1,000 IQ all the time.
have you
What's your
ever
question?
did you ever see? I'm not sure if they were ever uploaded, but his 1v1s with Dai.
Yeah, yeah, they were on YouTube. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
he smacked Die, and
Yeah,
I'm probably the last one to say that 1v1s, mean a lot. But if you can beat Die in a 1v1, like you're
yeah,
fucking
because
good.
Dai is like the perfect specimen, like created in a lab for a 1v1. He's
Yeah.
so tricky, so like
Uh huh.
good with nade placement,
Uh
and
huh.
like Dai is genuinely like a genius at the game,
Yes.
and Naruto made him look fucking stupid. Like
Yeah.
Naruto
Yeah.
read every move he was making.
Yep.
He could not evade Naruto. Like nothing was working against him.
Yep. And that was 2 matches, right? It wasn't just the one.
Yeah, I think they were
It
both
was
like
Temple
20.
and Village. Yeah.
Yeah, both like 20 to 10 ish score. Like,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? Like, that was insane. And again, those were, I think both of those were in 2010. So this should be peak die.
For sure. For sure. Um, but yeah. Just good at everything. Probably the smartest, most tactical player I've ever played with or against. Super good with every weapon. Um,
Wasn't he really good in Uncharted 4 too?
yeah, I was gonna bring that up actually. Yeah, he was. Um,
Jesus.
he hardly ever went negative. Was probably probably the best player in that pure team that beat OMG in
Oh
their
yeah.
rematch.
I think Tice and Freddy themselves will say that Naruto's the guy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, just all around, there's nothing bad you can say about him. It's a shame that he's so underappreciated in Uncharted 2, because he was arguably the GOAT. Like, if I could switch him into number one easily. But yeah, just crazy fucking player. And as you said, I think he got a lot more recognition in Uncharted 4 for sure when he was on Albatross.
Yeah.
Because he was on 3 of the best teams in the game at separate times. He was on I believe Get Positive. He was definitely on Get Positive at the beginning, and they were definitely number one for a very short time. And then Bio joined, and everything went to shit. And then he remade a team with Dai and Tyson, a couple other people, and they were called Get Poisoned, and then they were the best team in the game for a couple months. And then eventually that team fell apart, and then he joined TDT, and they were the best team in the game for X amount of months. So just the fact that you can be on 3 of the best teams in the game at separate times, you got to be pretty fucking cracked. So I think he gets a lot more credit in Uncharted 4 when he was on Albatross. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, Naruto Doom, amazing fucking player. And honestly, he needs a fucking comeback. He came back to Uncharted 2 for a time in probably 2014, 2015. And that's where I met him, funny enough. I just ran into him in like a TDM game when I had no idea who he was because he was on Arbitross, and he added me and we played with each other, and we became friends. And then I was like, oh shit, you're fucking Naruto Doom. That's crazy. Because before then I played with him a couple times, but I never really spoke to him. I saw his gameplay and all that, but yeah, I just randomly ran into him in a public game, and we added each other because we thought we were good. And then, I teamed with him in Uncharted 4 a lot. But super cool dude. He needs to fucking come back. He doesn't even log into Albatross anymore.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know where he's been, but maybe he's dead.
Yeah, probably probably just life stuff.
Yeah, life, that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Naruto Doom.
Anyway, so why do you think Monster is so much better than him?
You said Monster was my number one. My
Okay.
number one is obviously Fabulous. Like, come on, what are you talking about?
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
No, number one is like butter.
Yeah. No, my number one is none other than Monster 1215 for
Okay.
sure. And it's mostly because of pedigree and resume.
Yeah. If you want
Like
the
Monster,
the evidence, like
yeah,
he
yeah.
has it
Like
in, yeah.
yeah, like if you want to make a case for Naruto Doom, like to somebody that has never played or has just started playing Uncharted 2, like you would
Hmm.
definitely have to go looking for it. You would have to find the receipts and all that and all this and all that to prove Naruto Doom's worth. But Monster, you don't have to go looking anywhere. Like it's all right there. Like I'm
Hmm.
sure if you search Uncharted 2 multiplayer, like Monster's channel is probably one of the first ones to come up. I mean that's just a metaphor, but you get what I mean.
Hmm.
Um, like like the skill speaks for itself. Everything that you said about Monster when you were talking about him earlier, great with the AK, great rusher, team leader, just super fucking good player. But beyond that, he won with so many different fucking teams. Like
Hmm.
like Two Fly was really good at the time. They weren't like the best, they weren't like TDT level, but they were
They were
still really
decent.
good and
Yeah.
yeah, arguably the best in the game. And then he made join TDT, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then they went on to be the only team in Uncharted 2's history to ever beat OMG in a tournament. So,
Hmm.
I mean, that's no fucking small feat. And that was before, excuse me, that was before God himself, Balloom, with his invincible force field, joined them.
Hmm.
He beat OMG without Balloom. Um,
Yeah, I
and
think
then
Monster
go.
and Glock, I think, just got better from there also.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So
And then
I don't think OMG even played quite peak TDT.
yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that. I mean, fucking Kojab, like Kojab was never that good. Like Kojab was never all
Yeah.
that. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then he went on to win multiple tournaments after Balloon joined, and he was always top of the board with Glock and Balloon. Um, and then he joined a total other band of misfits for the Nostalgia tournament and won again. So
Hmm.
he literally won so many different tournaments with so many different casts of characters, so many different teams, and the one
Hmm.
common factor in all those teams is Monster 1215. He's
Yeah.
just a born winner, and I have so much respect for that. I think he has 13 tournament victories. Um, it is just an absolute shame that he wasn't able to start playing earlier, to truly go toe to toe with the OG greats of Naruto Doom and all them. But
Yeah.
the resume speaks for itself. I mean, nobody has won as much as Monster. Nobody has done it with as many teams as much as Monster. So it speaks for itself.
Hmm.
The goat, in my opinion.
I
I
got you.
definitely I definitely took like tournament performance into account a lot more
Yeah.
uh, than I think than you might have. But yeah, that's my list.
Got you. I got you. Yeah. I just think I think Naruto would look a lot different if he played in like two or maybe just like one or two more tournaments with a really solid team, because the UT team was it was our team was really good for that tournament, but like I Naruto deserves a better teammate than me. like
Yeah,
like as much as I like I'll I'm not just like hating on myself. Like I think I would put my communication up against anyone's. But
agreed,
if
agreed.
you replace me on that team, because Naruto already had like the callouts, like I don't know how much of the success you can put on my feet, like just calling out, and like I had a fine tournament. I think I had like a 1.1 KD for the whole tournament. Um,
Gotcha.
but if you give him in that tournament instead of me, you have Alex Farf, Ice, and KPT Karma, one of his other teammates, Blinky,
Yeah.
G4S are fucked. Like in
Yeah.
that finals.
That's fair.
Because, and also, I, I, we definitely could have won that tournament because Naruto missed the first game, and he had just gotten off work and like signed in and then right into match 2, and yeah, so he was no warm up, no nothing. We were down 0-1,
Yeah.
so it was but yeah, what? Yeah, I can't be mad at Monster #1. Like he is.
Yeah.
I think Balloom has the best statistical case, but well,
There's the asterisk.
yeah, but like there's important context there,
Yeah.
and even that's not totally clear. Like Balloom is just slightly higher in KD, assists per game, and kills per game, but Monster has 62 games to Blinky's 34. So
Yeah.
Monster sustained it over,
Yeah.
like, from
Like that.
2013 to 2019, like 70. Yeah.
Yeah. For the longest time, I definitely would have put Naruto Doom above Monster, but I think I
After
switch it up
19.
now. Yeah, I think I switch it up now. Just because of the consistency of Monster. Like he was the best for so fucking long, and Naruto Doom may have been better individually, but he was not as consistent as Monster. And that isn't his fault because he didn't play as long as Monster. But I gotta respect the consistency over being the best over anything else, in my opinion. If we take those the tournament factors out of it and we're just talking strictly about skill, then I would probably put Naruto ahead. But just the resume is just it's too high for me to leave out.
I am curious real quick, because we'll finish up, like, in the next minute. Do you think... So, obvious... Let's just... If you were, like, drafting a team, first pick, for no power weapons, Monster or Naruto?
Probably Naruto.
Okay.
Naruto.
Okay, because that's another thing that I was thinking. I was just like, Monster, like, obviously he's still top 5, probably, in no power weapon, because his AK's fantastic. His fleet foot's great. He
also
great
IGL. I don't think I said that earlier. Monster's a great in-game leader for sure.
Yeah,
which is super underrated or underappreciated, I should say, overall as a factor.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
Naruto Doom though. Fuck. Sorry,
yeah,
God.
yeah. Naruto's. Yeah, Naruto. I have too much to say about Naruto because he's like he is so good with like especially for like breaking catwalk. He'll be so specific like he knows the timing of the hammer. Like he's always keeping track of that. And he's like, we just need one pick. We get one pick. You're gonna be right here. Like you two push in. I'm gonna follow you with hammer. Then we're gonna go. Then ice is gonna push here, and then we should have it. If we don't, if 2 people die. We get back and we do it again. The hammer's gonna be right back up, and then like, and it's just like he has like a whole like system going, and he really thinks the game and is really thinking about where all of his teammates are and where they need to be and how he can help them, and he's happy to go in first and be the Sergio or Tyce and if he's just the absolute chameleon. Any player role he can do it, and is probably going to be better than all but 1 or 2 people at it.
For sure.
So yeah, that's it. So I'll just real quick run that down. My top 10: Abadizi, Blinky, Balloom, Sergio Pro, Dai, Freddy, Tice, Monster, Glock, and Naruto Doom.
Got it. Mine is Wesker 5, Slick Kid Murda, Wheezy F Baby, Alfred Freddy, Beastly Bosna, Tice Mac 3, Sergio Pro 13, Dai, Naruto Doom, Monster.
Hell yeah. What else? Okay, outro shit. Yeah, we already got all the announcements out of the way. We will be doing more of this, but much shorter videos.
Yes.
This is this is going to be by far the longest.
We
But
can
we got it.
definitely cut some of it out, probably.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
probably should.
yeah. Um, but yeah, we'll do some shorter stuff. We got the big one out of the way. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it for anyone listening. Stay tuned. Keep an eye out for more Uncharted content stuff because we are planning to do more of this. Um, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I will also link. Are you still uploading shit?
I plan to. I have a capture card coming in the mail, so
Gotcha.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay. RaNDiM's details, the links will be in the description as well. So check out his stuff too and keep an eye out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me. I hope we can do it
Of course,
again.
man. We absolutely will. Hopefully, we can have some guests on every now and then as well. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Future episodes. We almost got Monster on for this video, and we almost got D Barker on here, but they are traitors, and
Yes.
no, we fuck with them, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. I'm gonna stop recording now because it has been forever. Bye.
Yes. Bye.